opponent here, Nelson.
He seems to use the first minute and a half to 2 minutes to try and get some of the steam out of McDonald's legs, then go to work in the last round. But you have to ask yourself, is he doing enough work in the last minute of every round to turn back what McDonald's done in the first couple of minutes?
That's the problem. If he does stand his ground, McDonald, he tends to get tagged a bit. He certainly did it early on and showed no fear at all. So there's McDonald's wife, Kim, there, keeping very straight-faced about it all, and alongside there somewhere is Barry Hearn, and she's trying to smile. It must be going through, well, let's face it, going through hell, because winning the World Championship, well, they think they more than won the pools then, don't they? And the replay, Jim, there's the old crisscross defence that I was talking to you about. There it is again.
Yeah, well, McDonald was forced to take some good shots again in the last minute of that round, but still throwing plenty of punches of his own. Although it's been a rear guard action all the way through, McDonald has done a lot of good work and come back with a lot of good punches.
So we're up for the 8th round then. And if you have joined us late, it's Azuma Nelson, the little Ghanaian world champion, defending the WBC Super Featherweight Championship against London's Jim McDonald, former European champion. And it's been a really gutsy performance indeed, and a clever tactical performance in many ways by McDonald, but he has been on the deck, and that, of course, goes against him. Jim, 2 American judges if it went to 12 rounds. Some possibility of that now, isn't there? I would think that, you know, they get impressed by aggression, and the fact that Nelson's walking forward the whole time, they would have him one in front.
Well, I think it all depends. In the first 4 rounds, when Nelson just come forward, but he didn't throw too many punches. But the trouble was, all of McDonald's punches were landing on arms, shoulders, and elbows. He didn't really get. He did a lot of good work, threw a lot of good punches, but wasn't getting home on target. So it depends were the scoring for McDonald throwing the punches or for the defensive skills of the champion. But McDonald has certainly kept it close and kept it interesting, simply because of the amount of work he's done himself. And here we have another round where Nelson hasn't got to McDonald yet.
And McDonald there, he keeps stealing the points while Nelson's trying to make up his mind. Oh, and he made up his mind there, but he just caught him a bit too high with that. That's the thing with McDonald, you've got to admire him. He takes a good shot like that and then immediately fights back.
Yeah, well, he's never been stopped, never actually been on the floor, and he's taken some cracking shots tonight. A little bit loose now, McDonald. I think that once again the pace is beginning to get to him.
Nelson almost stands on his toes there, just doesn't give him any leeway. Round 9. Now, just wondering now how these... Whoops. I'll wait for that punch to come before I continue that. Just wondering how these judges are looking at it. One from Switzerland, 2 from America. And how much they're scoring McDonald stealing those punches very cleverly too. Or are they taking into account that Nelson's punches are firmer, but not always as frequent?
Also depends that I've been impressed by Nelson's defensive skills. But this is the first time Nelson has really come out firing in the first minute of a round. Maybe he feels that he better get a grip of McDonald and pin him down, because he's stealing a lot of points, keeping on the move. He's been allowed to box his own fight. Maybe Nelson feels it's time to try to change that. But still McDonald coming back with plenty of fire.
Yelling from McDonald's corner now, move, move. Well, he's certainly done that well. And at the moment, Jim, he's having a good round. Maybe he's risking it a bit by standing there trading.
Yeah, a little bit risky. His defence is a little bit open here. He's been warned, I think, for pulling Nelson on. But who can blame him? Anything for safety when they're up close.
Good round from McDonald, Jim.
Yep, again he stood his ground and he's firing back. Some of his punches have been smothered, but he's getting through with a fair amount.
Minute to go. McDonald got to copy Nelson's tactics a little bit. He's got to get his arms up and covering his chin a little bit. What a good round, though. He hasn't stopped throwing punches while Nelson trying to make up his mind. And there's the countdown. He's almost punching himself to a standstill there, Jim, isn't he?
He's got so much courage, Reg. Who would have believed it would be out-punching Nelson at his own game? Good punch from McDonald.
What a turn-up it could be, but it's at the end of the round. And they're jumping in the corner there. Barry Hearn's almost leapt over the top rope. A good 9th round indeed there for this fella, Jim McDonald. As I say, former European champion. There's the left hook, Jim, as you watch the replay.
Just with about 10 seconds left in the round, a lovely left hook, and McDonald puts the champion under pressure, possibly for the first time in the fight, but who would have thought he could do it this late? See, he actually took the fight to the champion here, connected with a good left hook, pushed him back onto the ropes, and really, as I say, put the champion under pressure. And for every other round, the champion has been the man exerting the pressure.
Final words from Darky Smith. Do as you did in the 9th round, you'll be okay, and we're out for the 10th. And I have to say that at the Tyson and Bruno show, when Nelson defended against Mario Martinez, a very good fighter indeed, that he stopped him in the final round. So with this fellow, the potency doesn't leave the punches until that final bell.
But I think Nelson has been forced to work a lot harder in this one than he did in the Martinez fight. He's missed with a lot of punches. McDonald's defence has been so good, and he really has forced the champion to work at a pace now.
He just sagged a bit there, didn't he? His open mouth, of course, to McDonald. It's hard to tell. It just looked as though the legs betrayed him once or twice there, Jim.
Well, Nelson has so much power. Every time he connects cleanly, you have to expect to see an effect on McDonald. You have to expect to see a shudder. But he just has so much courage. He's so fired up. He comes just forcing himself back again. But he can't afford to take too many of these punches.
Certainly got the crowd on their feet, I tell you. It's completely expensive to get them here tonight. They've got a 200-pound ringside with the Dickie Bow people in their champagne. Right above us here in the commentary position, the referee letting them fight inside. It's good to see McDonald pinning Nelson against the rope and just standing back and letting a few punches go.
It's also good to see the way McDonald is stopping Nelson from working here. He's leaning on him, keeping him off balance, throwing a couple of punches, and then just pinning down his arms.
That's a long spell, isn't it, in that corner?
Nelson should have got himself out of there a long time ago.
Oh, he almost fell into that one. Tell you what, Jim, I don't think Nelson can believe what's happening here. Well, any thoughts of him not being able to stay the course? McDonald has been dispelled. I mean, I know he's already stayed 12 rounds with Brian Mitchell, but this is a much harder fight than that. And he's really stayed like a Sunday winner. Well, a raising of the hands there. And McDonald knew that he'd had the best of that round, didn't he?
McDonald pinned Nelson in the corner for so long in that round. It's the last place that Nelson wants to be. Nelson should be out in the centre of the ring where he can use his power. But McDonald beat him to the punch, pushed him into the corner and held him there for at least a full minute, probably longer. Tactics were perfect in that round for McDonald. His work rate has been so high throughout the fight. A little bit of arrogance here from McDonald, but so pleased that he still feels arrogant this late in the fight. A tremendous show from McDonald.
Certainly McDonald's best fight by a mile, this. Nelson's punches now that are falling short. He's done it quite a bit during the fight, but it's getting more noticeable. Certainly the smartest fight that any challenger has given Nelson, isn't it?
Yeah, well, as we said earlier, McDonald is a world-class fighter, and he certainly proved that tonight. He proved, as well as all his other attributes, plenty of courage and plenty of stamina. His left eye is closing badly. Sorry, his right eye is badly swollen. It's almost completely closed, Reg.
Yes.
I don't think you can see at all.
No, it's just as well there's only a round to go. He's in trouble with that. They'll get the ice packs out, or the iron thing, the iron's ice well, as they call it, and try and smooth that. What a shame that is. It's really swollen up. Good look at it there too, the referee.
That's actually worse than a cut, Reg, because he has no sight whatsoever in that right eye.
No. to take time out to the referee, to the timekeeper, and he's going over to his own corner, and Dr. Patel is the boxing board of control is going to have a look at this, and there'll be hell to play. He's whispering to the referee. Boxer. Well, of course, nobody wants to see it stop so late in the contest as this. On the other hand, it certainly is a large swelling he's got there. Sometimes the cornermen can work miracles in the end, even in just in the 60-second break.
Go ahead, Jimmy. I've never seen Azuma Nelson looking so ragged, and it's Jim McDonald who's making him that way.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure of that. I've seen him half a dozen times at least, Nelson. He's never looked as untidy as this, and that's because he keeps shifting so well, McDonald. He keeps jabbing at it.
See, McDonald's tactics have been perfect all the way through.
So there's Darky Smith now, former boxer, having to work furiously there on Jim McDonald's right eye. Presumably it was a punch, but who knows? There was quite a lot of head work going on in that closed quarter stuff.
See, the swelling seems to be in the soft tissue of the eye. It doesn't seem to be in the brow. It's really in the soft tissue. I don't think there's any way they're going to get that swelling down.
I like the way Barry Hearn is standing out there as a cheerleader, trying to get his supporters Jimmy in the last round. I think Jim McDonald can do it on his own. He doesn't need the support. He's a very strong-willed character. There you are. They've got it open a little bit, as I said. So the 12th and final round of this World Championship. And Jim, which way is it going to go?
Well, as I said earlier, I think it all depends in the early rounds if the judges have scored it for McDonald's work rate, because he threw a lot of punches in the first 3 or 4 rounds. Although Nelson was blocking most of them, showing good defensive skills. If the judges have given it to McDonald because of his superior work rate, then he must be in front now. The only trouble is that Nelson's punches, when he has gone to work, really have been so much better than McDonald. Just a slip, just a push over. And McDonald's quite right to take as long as possible to get back up again.
He looked tired there, Jim, didn't he? But he takes a deep breath and pulls himself together. This will be tragic if it happens in the last round.
All McDonald wants to do here is grab hold and survive. Never mind the heroics, he's shown enough of those tonight.
Yeah, like that. That's the way he's got to do it. See the timeout. Now, that was a slip on the canvas there. Oh, caught him with the right hand. At least he's raising his hand to try and block them. So tired as he gets a shove between the ropes there. I'm rather surprised he's given a count there. He's so fatigued, isn't he, Jim McDonald?
He's got absolutely nothing left but his heart, Reg. Nothing at all, but is his heart big enough?
Well, it's all over in the 12th round. It's incredible. I mentioned early on that he stopped his last opponent in the last round. And I tell you, he did not deserve to be stopped. At least if he was going to be beaten on points, would have been much better. But he was totally fatigued. He just ran out of gas in that last round. And certainly that swelling of the eye, well, obviously didn't help at all, Jim.
Reg, even in the 11th round, McDonald had nothing left but his heart. He was completely fatigued. The tremendous pressure was under all the way through. He was forced to work hard, and he just had nothing left but his heart. And just seconds away, his heart came pretty close to winning him a world title. See, he's nothing at all left here. His eyes, he couldn't see at all out of the right eye. And Nelson started for the first time really to get a grip on him and take control. But what a tremendous performance from Jim McDonald. He is the hero tonight.
Yeah, there it is again. It certainly wasn't. Nelson was so frustrated halfway through. Once he got the man on the hook, then he proves that he's a world champion. And good compassionate act by the referee there to stop it actually while he's on the deck. He didn't even count. Yeah.
See, there again is the left hook coming through. McDonald can't see that the punch coming. Nothing at all left. Although I do believe if the referee hadn't stepped in, McDonald was on his way back up again.
So the usual carnival in the ring. And the Ghanaian supporters there. And they're putting the WBC belt around him, as always. And Don Kenny, the American promoter, well to the fore, need I say, because he actually promotes most of Azuma Nelson's fights.
I think they're just keeping McDonald on the floor as a precaution. I don't think there's anything seriously wrong with him. I just think it's obviously exhaustion.
Azuma, that must have been one of the hardest fights you've been. A very brave challenger.
Yeah, Jim McDonald ready to prepare for the fight.
But you could well have been behind on points going into that last round.
I know he's going all the rounds, you know, but I know he can finish. You know.
Did he surprise you with his courage as well as his
well,
skill?
yeah, because I don't know he can go like that, you know. And his trainer did well because he trained him very good hard, you know. He tried, you know, he holding me, you know, not to.
You underestimated him, really, didn't you?
Pardon?
You underestimated him.
Oh yeah.
But you're still champion.
Good going, Trevor Wyatt. Trevor Wyatt.
So anyway, I'm pleased to say that Jim McDonald's recovered there, got a big hand, and led back to the corner. And as Jim Watt quite rightly says, he will go out the hero, even though he was a loser. Well, that's a whole crowd of people, isn't it, in Jim McDonald's corner, and all applauding him. But what he could do with right now is a bit of air and get away from all that, because he really is so tired.